I kind of begrudgingly respect just the dedication to not getting better at what you do for a living. Just coast through life.
It probably shouldn't even happen.
If you got it, you got to flaunt it, Acid.
You know what? I got a lot of stuff that I don't want to flaunt, so I just keep it to myself.
Jeremy is really big into the used mattresses. I think that's an excellent deal.
He has a used mattress store on the side. And we found out that Anthony's friends are all 13-year-old boys. Nice.
Whoever wins gets Acid's ball soap. Clay, how you doing?
Doing a little more poorly after that terrible introduction. I was just fine, to be honest with you.
Hello, Sci Fi Gangstas. This is a show where we talk about science fiction, comic books, and video games. It really is just an excuse for me to catch up with my friends, old and new. I'm Anthony Denard, media scholar and person who just ate way too much popcorn a second ago. As many of you may know, me and Jeremy just saw Black Widow in the theaters. I just saw him just a second ago, in person, in the flesh. I saw Jeremy. We went to go see Black Widow. And maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we won't. We don't want to spoil anything, right? But I think me and Jeremy were... we both enjoyed it. It was better than we thought, right? Jeremy, that was the one thing Jeremy said on his way out. He's like, hey, it was better than I thought. And I was like, I really enjoyed it because I had popcorn in my mouth. So I was still eating the popcorn. Way too much popcorn, a big bucket of popcorn. But today's topic is our favorite one-liners and quips in Marvel films. That is our topic for today. We'll be discussing it. We all have our lists. We'll share the lists together. Right. But first things first, we need to get right to it, right? This is a special occasion, right? You know, that we have two guests. Usually we have one, but today we have two special guests, and we need to get to our guests right off the bat because this is what happened. Last time, Clayburn Cox, he was on the show. He sent me a nice email. He said, look, I really enjoyed being on the show, but look, I'm on your show for a reason. I want to promote myself. So if you take your time getting to me next time, then we're going to have a problem. So I was like, you know what? I sent him an email saying, I apologize. Next time we'll get straight to you and we'll promote whatever you want to promote, whatever your silly thing that you'll be doing. But actually, that's what we'll be talking about today. So let's go ahead and get to Clayburn. Clay, how are you doing?
Way worse now than I was before you said anything about me. Everything you said was not right. You said all the not right things, Anthony.
I'm just sharing what happens behind the scenes, Clay. But yeah, so Clay, you'll be performing along with your good friend Juan. I believe that's how you pronounce your name. Is that correct, Juan?
Yeah, that's my fault. I came in late, and we could have discussed this before you started recording, but it's Juan. It's spelled that way. I give it to you. But it's Italian.
Okay, excellent. Well, great. We're off to a great start here.
That means me and Jeremy won't get it wrong, and only Anthony looks stupid. So thank you for that. Thank you for that, Jawan. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Don't worry, I'll be getting another email from Clay saying, "Look, that was completely unprofessional. Next time, get to know your guests' names before you mention them on the air." Look, and I'll say, you know what? I apologize.
No, you guys had a ton of research that you were doing. I understand. I'm just here at my house. This is your show.
Did you research this show?
well, it's good to have you guys on, whoever you are.
Whoever you
but
are.
But we're here to we have a topic. We'll be discussing our topic today, right? We'll be doing our little shtick that we do on the show. And we'll talk with each other like we always do. But we want to plug your comedy show, which is in Auburn. Hold on, let me look. It's going to be in Auburn on July 24th at 9 p.m. This was part of the contract agreement that Clayburn signed, saying that I had to mention this at the top of the show. July 24th at 9 p.m. at the ACF building in Auburn, South Gay Street. Check it out. It's going to be hilarious. If I know Mr. Clayburn Tiberius Cox, it's that he's funny. He's got a lot of jokes about how COVID's not real. He does all like the reactionary humor that you love.
Yeah. He just stands up on stage and reads memes, I think.
Nice.
Just scrolls through his feed.
I'll be there.
Excellent. Yeah.
Among other things that I would love to disagree with you about publicly, in a documented fashion such as this, where people can see it for years to come. We've known each other for about 10 years. My name is pronounced Clayburn. Clayburn. It's not Clayborn. And I wanted to stress that so much that I'm letting the making jokes about COVID not being real slide. I'm not even bringing that up because I want you to get my name right.
Out of your reputation would be more tarnished pronouncing your name incorrectly than being known as the comedian who is downplaying the COVID virus.
Please don't make this about my reputation. This is you did this wrong. You did this wrong.
Excellent. Well, definitely check it out once again. I think I had to do this twice at the top of the hour. That's what it said, according to the email that Clayburn Cox sent me. July 24th at 9 p.m. in Auburn, performing stand-up. Both of these fine gentlemen, right? Hilarious people who will be performing. ACF building and South Gay Street. Check it out. It's going to be absolutely hilarious. I already forgot how to pronounce your name. Who wants
this?
Clayburn.
Clayburn, I think.
Oh yeah, Clayburn.
No,
it's not Clayburn.
It's Juwan. Just pronounce the J.
Gotcha. I got it. I'm gonna write that down.
I didn't want to say anything, but you've actually been pronouncing my name wrong for years too.
So,
Chorami.
Oh, is it Jerami? I see. Okay, so Juwan, how you doing?
Yes, good. I'm very good, and I'm ready for that show as well. I probably have to do a little prep for it, but I haven't been doing stand-up as long as Clayburn, so I'm just hosting. I'll just kind of get the show rolling, and then those guys will take it over.
Excellent. So definitely check it out. What's new with you? Have you been to Auburn before? Are you a native of Auburn? Where are you from?
I have been to Auburn. We did I think me and Clayburn did a show for like it's the scholarship kids, and I can't remember the exact name of the thing, but it's kids that have gone all through high school and are getting scholarships into college, and they fed them really a lot of food, and then they talked to them for an hour, and then they let us do stand-up in a hotel conference room, which was not real conducive to comedy, but it was good. It was fun. But I'm in Georgia, which, by the way, if there's any glitches, I got rural internet, so it's like I got a hamster on a wheel, and he's like going nuts right now. So
nice.
If he tires out, I might freeze or something. So just make a joke out of that. I'll be part of the joke.
We have a lot of experience with that with Anthony's internet as well. So
not anymore.
We know exactly what to do here.
When we first see here, this is what they do. They try to make fun of me and they try to embarrass me. This is what I have to deal with here. But we're in Georgia.
Well, it's a town called Madison, but if you don't live in Atlanta, you say near Atlanta or in Georgia. Yeah, you just go near Atlanta. But yeah, I don't know if y'all know where Madison is. There's a Madison, Alabama, isn't there?
I'm sure there is.
Madison County.
Yeah, there's a county. That's right. There's a county.
Well, it's probably the same look.
Madison,
a lot of trees, a lot of
Madison
cows,
County.
A little bit of internet.
Excellent. Well, it's great to have you both on. Once again, they'll be performing July 24th at 9 p.m. at the ACF building, South Gay Street in Auburn. Definitely check that out. July 24th. Look, tickets are on sale. I probably should have looked this up before I started promoting it. But Clay, are there tickets available?
There are. Here's the thing. They're all free. We're taking them as reservations because we thought it would be a well-attended thing. And so there are 120 seats available. The first show, we made 140 sort of available because some people are going to be fickle when you get a free ticket and not show up. So 140 tickets went very quickly. So we decided to open a second show, and it still has availability. The 9 o'clock show, the 7 o'clock show is claimed. So
7 o'clock show is sold out. Claimed, Clayburn Cox says. Clayburn Cox, not Clayborn Cox, but Clayburn Cox.
You're thinking of Jason Bourne.
I think of Jason Bourne Cox.
I thought you were thinking of Liz Clayborn.
Yeah. There you go.
That's why I thought Clayburn takes such offense to it, personally.
Obviously. But we corrected that. He corrected me, and I'll be getting another email after the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once again, today's topic, we're talking about best one-liners and funny quips from our favorite Marvel films. But first things first, we're going to catch up real quick. All right, that's what we do on the show. That's the whole point of the show. When Jeremy came to me and he said, "When are we bringing back Sci-Fi Gangsters?" This never happened. But when he came to me and he said, "When are we bringing back Sci-Fi Gangsters?" That's the name of the show. I said, you know what? I'm only going to do it if it's going to be fun. We're going to catch up. And it's going to be little work, and we'll just have a fun time doing it. And that's what we're going to do here. That's what we're catching up. So first things first, I want to catch up with my good friend Jeremy. Jeremy, how you doing?
Good. I've been busy. I've been traveling a lot, and the last week or so, I've been watching a lot of movies. So I'll give you a quick rundown. So Cruella, highly recommended. Like 9 out of 10. Very, very good.
What?
Yeah, it was very surprising. Very, very good. Really doesn't feel like a Disney movie at all. If it hadn't been a character from Disney, you wouldn't have known. Quiet Place 2, not too bad. Could take it or leave it, but it's sort of follows in the spirit of the first one. It does have Cillian Murphy, who I like quite a bit. So I would recommend watching it. I watched The Tomorrow War. Absolute garbage. One of the stupidest concepts I could possibly have imagined. Doesn't make any sense. Everyone involved should feel bad about themselves.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Oh, and I watched Fast 9. So.
Oh, God. Really?
I've been against the Fast and Furious series ever since the first one. Like, I saw it, I hated what it did to like the larger car scene in reality. But then I read somewhere that Fast and the Furious is American anime. And so I tried to watch it with that point of view, and I actually enjoyed it more than I expected. Like, it's not great, but if I think of it as over the top as anime is, I didn't hate it.
I will say this: I am not going to watch it just because of how dominant those memes have been. Those family memes. Has anyone else seen that? It's just way too much with the family memes. I'm over
it's got to be some sort of guerrilla marketing strategy.
Probably.
But really overboard with the family memes.
Yeah, and we just saw Black Widow. I enjoyed Black Widow quite a bit. But if you weren't planning on watching Cruella, I would definitely recommend it.
Well, there you go. Jeremy's top of the list for the summer, Cruella. Never thought I would ever say that. Jeremy's list, Cruella at the top. Right? Excellent. Very good. We'll go ahead and move on to my other good friend here. Acid, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Didn't do much this week. My daughter got her second COVID shot, so she's done. She don't have to worry about that anymore. So we're grateful for that. I was looking through my texts and everything and emails and everything. I did not get the Black Widow invite. I must have missed that somewhere from you, Anthony. So I've just been sitting here at the house just crying. So, I mean, with nothing to do.
Staring at the ceiling, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's real nice. I have a very nice ceiling. It's really nice. So maybe if I get an invite from Clay to go see the show, I'll go see the show, Okay. But no.
To be fair, I thought Jeremy was going with a group legitimately. Yeah. I legitimately thought Jeremy was going with a group. So I was like, I don't even remember how Jeremy told me he was seeing Black Widow, but I was like, hey, I'll go watch it with you. Because
I told both of you guys that I was going to watch it before the show tonight.
Oh, that's right. He did tell you that.
Like I put it out there into the world.
Is that how guys invite each other now? I'm going to go watch a movie. All right, that's cool, dude. But yeah, anyway, I haven't seen anything new or actually played anything new. Nothing new has come out. Although Hearthstone made a new announcement for their expansion coming out. I'm talking video games now, so and they'll come out in August. I don't know whether to be excited about it or not. It'll just put another hole in my wallet, which they're winning another $150 that I'll never get back. But that's okay. If that's all I'm spending my money on, then I'm okay with that. I did get my wife apparently, I know you can't see it because it's on me, but as my hand gets brighter, she bought a ring light. I don't know, you've probably seen those or whatever, for work, and she never uses it. She goes, here, you can have it. So now I have a ring light, and look at me. I'm all bright and flashy. And
Yeah, looks great.
I will have to
one of the
say
real
this.
big ones.
No, it's small. It's not
Okay.
like that.
I just have a normal light shining in my face, like slowly, like burning my pupils right now.
You
That's
pulled
what's-
the shade off your lamp. Just sat it close to you.
Yeah, just set it right there. I will have to say, Jawan, that beard, my friend, is very
Well,
majestic.
I fought the what is it? It's a straightening brush.
I need one of
It's
those.
just when you
Can
get it, it's just a
can you
brush
tell?
that you plug into the wall. I'm like, this is a scam, or they're
Right?
trying to get me to kill myself. But it really does. It straightens your beard out.
Does
and-
it work?
and when
Okay,
you
because mine is.
yeah, when the wife
extremely-
says, "Oh, that looks great," and you go, "Okay, well now I got to keep this."
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll be spending another, however much those
Appreciate
cost.
it.
Yeah, to get me one of those. All right.
It was
well, thank
it
you.
was $35 at the WalMarts.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay. Yeah, I can go to the
Yeah,
Dollar Tree and
not
get
bad,
one
not
for
bad
like
price.
$5 then. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, just
Do
a
it.
little bit of the, just one that's been returned.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe a
yeah.
little defective,
I'm
that's
okay with the used ones. Yeah, they're fine.
Did you, the women have the hair straighteners? Could you just like break that in half and use like half of one?
But these
No,
have.
you're
I've seen what
supposed
you're
to,
talking
yes,
about. These have combs in them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a comb.
Yeah,
it's
they have
like a
bristles.
heated comb. It's weird looking. Like I've seen them, but I've always been like, yeah, it's kind of like sketchy just to get one.
Pro tip with that, she told me not to have any product in there because it did smoke the first time. So I just threw a bunch of
yeah.
wax in there, the
'Cause
you know
I
the
use,
beard
like,
stuff,
I
the,
use beard
the
oil.
conditioner.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
don't do that. Okay.
And you throw it on
sweet.
there, it's like, you're like, oh, that smells good. And Melody's like, don't do that. Don't ruin your beard. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll keep that in
Don't
mind.
do
Thank
that.
you. Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate that.
Oh.
Oh, and Anthony,
Pronounce my
it's
name
it's
correctly.
pronounced Acidtrain. Okay, just in case
So
you
I
needed
can't
to
call
know.
you Acid. I can only call you Acid.
You can call me Acid. Yeah, you can call me Acid. That's fine. But
Okay.
if you want to say the whole thing, I was just reminding you. I didn't want you to forget in the middle of the show.
So I'm not going to be shamed on my own show. Is what I'm trying to say. We're going to cut this all out.
will
We're
not be
editing
allowed.
this.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I was going to mess with Jeremy and said, instead of trivia tonight, we're going to play Hot or Not, and we're just going to have to.
Oh, that's right, Jeremy. You missed our last episode where we talked about the top sexiest guys in science fiction. Right? It was. It was.
We played Hot or Not, basically.
I mean, I just naturally assume everyone's number one was William Shatner, and if it wasn't, you were wrong.
Wow, there you go. Jeremy with William Shatner. He was not brought up.
It was not brought up at all.
You had that.
Excellent. All right, well, there you go, Acid. I say, why grow out a beard when you can just slowly have one not fill in? That's what I do.
That's about right.
Shading.
Let's go ahead and move on. We'll put Clayburn Cox off to the side here for a second, and we'll go ahead
That
and go on
seems to be the running
Juwan.
the running theme.
Here's the thing: I have a little panic attack every time I say your name because I'm afraid that I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Juwan.
Don't worry about that. Oh,
Okay, so-
perfect. Yeah.
Excellent. So what's new with you, Juwan?
New. Well, actually, I tour a lot. I'm in a band, and I'm a
sweet.
musician by trade. And so we just got off the road and recorded a new album. And I did a church, then youth camp at my church, and now my wife bought chickens, and now I got to build a coop. I think she's got little chicks.
Chickens.
So I got a pretty. It's basically the size of a clubhouse back there. She goes, "Here's the plans," and then I went to Lowe's and bought the wood and I put it up. I'm like, a person could live in here. It's like a 10 by 10.
Nice.
There you go. Excellent. You get some. Are these chicken or egg laying chickens, or are these?
Yeah. Yeah, we want them farm fresh eggs.
That sounds delicious. I will say this: I love my eggs in the
And you
morning.
can have some farm fresh chicken and dumplings in a little while too.
You know, that when my daughter goes out to count them, maybe there'll be one less. I don't know.
Maybe one missing. Yeah. Didn't we have
Or just
seven?
the wings.
No, we didn't.
Just the wings are missing. I'm just sitting there. Yeah.
Walking around with a
I
wingless
appreciate the
chicken.
wings more. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't need those wings to
Joanna,
have
tell me a little bit about the band.
Well, the name of the band is Casting Crowns. We've been around for since 2003, and God's just blessing us. We do mostly CCM. We're a Christian band, and the last year when everybody else was kind of staying in, we found a way to do safe concerts outside. There was a bunch of drive-ins that we were able to play in. So we pulled up a stage, and everybody pulled up in their car and rolled the windows down, and we had a concert. And then this year was all parking lots. It was kind of the same deal, except it was actually somewhere like drive-ins are usually out in the middle of nowhere. It's just a field with a screen. And so we're like, why don't we do like parking lots, which is closer. So like we played in the Tampa Bay Lightning, we played in their parking lot, and that was a lot more fun than just a drive-in.
You broke up there for just a second. Did you just say
Oh, good.
that you were in Casting Crowns? Did you just say Casting Crowns?
Yeah, I play it.
Holy crap. My daughter loves you guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That was another reason.
I hear you on the radio all the time. Earlier. Yeah, my daughter's like, yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
We listen to you all the time.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Clayburn got me sucked into this stand-up thing. Well, I'm on time off, so.
All your time off, yeah.
Excellent. So Casting Crowns is the name of the band.
Nice.
Right, and you play guitar. All the Casting Crown fans are going to be so furious if they do listen to the show. Which
they
are not.
Yeah, they're going to be mad. My daughter's going to be mad now.
When we find out that I mispronounced your name, I'm going to be getting letters.
Oh, no worries. No.
I'm going to be getting death threats.
We did a thing. So I'm on a Sunday night with John Brandy, another stand-up comedian. We call it the Starving Comics Quarantine Show. And I was at a concert, and they were like, hey, it would be funny if you go out in the crowd and see if you could find out if somebody knows all the names of the members of the band. So I went like 5-6 people. Hey, can you name the members of Casting Crowns? They're like, no. Like, not even the lead singer? And like, no, I'm sorry. And they were like, people were pulling out CDs and trying to leaf through, and we don't have the names right on there. So one guy was listening to us a song was on Sirius, and he looks down at the radio like it would be scrolling, like the names would be scrolling across the bottom. But nobody knows the names. So if you say it, then people are just going to say, oh, Juan, yeah. I was wondering what his name was.
I'm a trendsetter, right?
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it's great to have you on the show here today. But once again, we'll move on to Clayburn Cox. But very first, before we get to Clayburn, July 24th is the date where they'll be performing stand-up at 9 p.m. at the ACF building, South Gay Street in Auburn. Definitely check it out. It's going to be a hilarious comedy show. Let's go ahead and get to Clay. Clay, it's safer if I just call you Clay because I don't want to screw up your name and get those mean emails that you send me afterward. But Clay, how you doing?
Doing great. So here's the thing about that show. I don't want to forget to mention this, but there are 2 other comics. They weren't able to make it tonight. One is Jody Fuller, and he's known as the stuttering comic. He was in the military, and he was one of the GIs of comedy, which they've performed everywhere. They performed recently for the 4th in Los Angeles at like the Comedy Store, one of the famous staple comedy clubs. And anyway, he's from Opelika, and he's been in like those Chicken Soup for the Soul books like 9 times. And so anyway, very, very funny, likable guy. And the other guy is named Steve Geyer, and he's not originally from here, but he came up with Brian Regan. I assume you're familiar with Brian Regan. If you're not, you should be. But anyway, he's performed with everybody, and he moved recently to Opelika to be near his I think daughter and grandson, and so he's a local now, and so he's going to be a part of the show. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds great. 4 hilarious comedians going to be performing at this show. I'm really not concerned with the people who are not here because they're not part of my shows, but we'll go ahead and we'll mention them very quickly. So thank you, Clayburn Cox, for mentioning those 2. Wouldn't it be funny if people just thought I was this mean? But yeah, anyways, great to have you on the show.
Life, yeah. Not really.
But yeah, so great. Let's go ahead and get on to our topic for today. So today's topic is what are your favorite MCU one-liners and quips, right? So we came up with our list here. and we're going to share them today. So we'll take turns going through one. We've picked 3 each, and we'll go through our list here. And I'll go ahead and start off with some honorable mentions because that's kind of cheating, but that's how I roll. All right, so a couple of honorable mentions. The first honorable mention comes from the Avengers when Thor is talking about his brother. He's defending his brother, and then Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, says he's killed so and so amount of people, and then Thor goes, he's adopted, right? Just great one-liner, hilarious. So that's definitely one of them. Baskin Robbins always finds out. Very hilarious line in Ant-Man. Probably one of the funnier lines in that particular one. What else do I have on my honorable mentions list? This one is kind of cheating because this is part of my list, but this is kind of another side note. Of course, Thor Ragnarok. It's kind of hard to pinpoint which one in Thor because there's so many great one-liners in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But this one I'm going to go with is when Thor goes, "I'm going back to Asgard," and then the Grandmaster goes, "Asgard or Asgard or whatever," just like a little funny little line like that. But yeah, so okay, so that was my honorable mentions. Now I'll get to my, I guess, the third or my first, depending on how you want to go with it. So this one is from Avengers Endgame, and this is the famous line that everybody always quotes. It's when Captain America sees his duplicate laying on the floor, and he looks down and he goes, "That is America's ass." Just a hilarious, funny line. It makes me chuckle every time I see it. But that is definitely my number 1 or my number 3, depending on how we're doing this list. Right. All right. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Jeremy. What's your?
Oh yeah, you're numbering them.
It doesn't matter. We're just picking 3. But we'll go ahead and get to Jeremy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So mine is from Endgame also. And it's the Doctor Strange, "What master do you serve? What am I supposed to say, Jesus?" Mainly just because I didn't see that joke coming at all. Like it was completely, just came out of left field.
All right, excellent. Another one we have 2 for Endgame. All right, Acid, what's your number 3?
All right. So I haven't seen every MCU film that has ever been conceived like you guys have. So I chose 3 from ones that I actually have seen. And the first one was, I believe it was from Captain America, the first one, when Peggy Carter, when he goes into the thing and they throw him in the tube and they're giving him his powers and everything. Well, he gets out and Peggy says, "How do you feel?" And he says, "I feel taller." I thought that was pretty funny. I got a good chuckle moment out of that one. That one was pretty good. Just because you saw it. He was this little winky, little weak guy before the transformation. So I thought that was funny.
All right, very good. All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to Juan.
Yes. Well, I was thinking about this because there's some of them. One we just watched, Age of Ultron, the other day, and the part when we first saw it in the theater, and Steve Rogers right at the beginning, he says, "Language." And like it kind of glosses through, and then Tony comes back. Is no one going to address the fact that Cap said language? He's like, "Sorry, just slipped out." That was a great quote. But see, some of them are just because we've modified them. Because gosh, now I can't remember the quote. I had it just in my head. You were talking before, but I Am Groot. That's pretty hilarious. Actually, depending on where that is and which one you're talking about, it works almost every time. But what was another one? I do my favorite. The thing is, my favorite character from all the movies is Korg, the rock guy from Ragnarok, and he was an Endgame too. We just get that because it's was it Taika Waititi?
Mm-hmm.
There's that guy from the Concord. You just got that accent. You're just like, "Hey, I'm Korg, and this is Mick." And I always thought he was saying Mick, but apparently it's Meek because I was looking it up, on the. But I would always just walk in, or somebody like, "Hey, I'm Korg. Hey, fellas." Because there's such a he's built out of solid rock.
That's not bad.
Such a
I must say
like,
that's a. That's a pretty good impression.
Oh, I worked on
That
it.
is a good practice makes
like it.
perfect.
You
Excellent.
guys want to get on a spaceship?
Very good. Excellent.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. We'll go ahead and get to Clayburn's number 3. Clay, what do you got?
Okay, so I'm a little self-conscious about this because mine are not necessarily punchlines; they're just situational, and so to me that's funnier than the punchlines. But I don't even remember if this scene was in Spider-Man or if it was in the Avengers, but it was Spider-Man, and he had just flung his little web and he trapped this Aaron something character to the car. You know, who's ultimately like I think another character in the Marvel universe but we don't know at the time. Anyway, do you know what I'm talking about? He sticks him to the car. I think it's Danny or Donald Glover. Yep. So anyway, he says 2 hours and you're going to be free. And the guy comes back 2 hours. Like, I can't do that. And he says, you deserve this 2 hours and it's going to dissolve. And he just yells, I got ice cream. Something about that. It cracks me up. Like what? I've got one reason I need to get away from here. So I got ice cream.
That's a good quote.
Good one. Excellent.
That's just the guy that was an informant in the. He knew he was buying weapons or something from.
Right.
All right. Very good.
I remembered my Wise Gamora. Remember that? I forgot that one.
Why Gamora is another good one. There's a lot of good one-liners in these Marvel films. All right, very good. All right, so we got through our first example. Let's go ahead and get to our next one. My next one is, I'm going to save this. I also have a Spider-Man Homecoming one. Is my number one. Is the line that I laughed the funniest in the theater when I heard it. It was from Spider-Man Homecoming. But my number 2 is when the Grandmaster is talking to Thor when Thor is first captured, and he says something to the extent of, he goes like, "Hey Sparkles, here's the deal. If you want to get back to Asperg or whatever," and like Thor's like Aslan or Asgard or whatever. But I just thought that was funny, where the Grandmaster like clearly knows it's Asgard. He's just Asperg, whatever. But just a really funny line. Really, there's a ton of great lines from the Grandmaster. Another one is when he's talking about, like, he's like, time works differently here, and he's like, in any other place I would be, and he just like does like a weird like face. Classic Grandmaster. All right, Jeremy, what's your number 2?
So my number 2 is also from Thor Ragnarok. It's from Korg. And that is Another Day, Another Doug. And he thinks he has killed his best friend. And he's just going to replace him with somebody else.
That is a good one. There's a lot of good one from Korg as well. Like when he goes, he's like, nothing to be afraid. It's like, I'm just a pile of rocks or something. He's like, nothing to be afraid of unless you're scissors or something like that. Yeah. He's like, that's a rock, paper, scissors joke. All right, excellent. All right, Acidtrain.
Yeah, whichever one you're comfortable with, Stallion. I mean, Anthony. My number 2 actually comes from WandaVision.
Interesting. A little curveball here. I like it.
Yeah, so I'm going to throw you a curveball. It's actually an Agatha quote. When she's, I believe she's talking to Wanda, and she says, "What I see here is a baby witch obsessed with sitcoms and years of therapy ahead of her." And I just thought that was really funny.
All right, very good. Excellent. Yeah, I didn't even think about including the television Marvel MCU. But that's definitely on the table, right? Can we first, quickly, before we move on, talk about how great Loki is? Just like how great the series is. Are you guys caught up on Loki?
I'll take your word for it for now. I have not seen any yet.
Oh, man, it's so
We watched the last episode last night, so yeah.
Oh,
it was good. It's good so far.
So great. Anyways, all right.
What's weird to me is, well, I don't know. I'm this weird guy that likes philosophical questions. So TV shows like The Good Place, I thought that was really brilliant, the way they would sneak in philosophy on you. So the first 2 episodes, you're talking about existence and what your purpose is. And then now we've turned around and we're kind of about, let's kill the bad guy kind of thing. But it still kept you engaged. I like it.
All All right, excellent. Well, we won't keep talking about Loki because several of you have not seen it. I don't want to spoil anything, but
No, yeah.
it's fantastic. The soundtrack. I just discovered the soundtrack on Spotify. Oh my goodness, fantastic sound. Anyways, all right. So, Juan, what's your number 2?
Yeah, so that's another thing. Like, I don't know if it's a punchline, but it is a situation where a lot of mine come from Guardians of the Galaxy because I really like Rocket. And the part where they're in the prison and he says, step 1 is we got to go get that back. We got to wait on it because the minute we pull it, all hell's going to break loose. And in the background, you see Groot. He's walking back there. He's pulling the battery out. And then all of a sudden, like in the middle of his spiel, the alarm shot's going off and he looks around. He's like, or we'll do it now and improvise.
Right.
Everything's going nuts.
Another great line from Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a lot of good ones from Guardians of the Galaxy. The one that I always think of when I think of Guardians is when she says, "Oh, it goes over his head," and he's like, "Nothing goes over my head because I would catch it or whatever." Or Drax.
That's funny.
All right, excellent.
I need to watch those.
All right, Clay Cox, Randall Clay Cox, Randall Clay Tiberius Cox. What's your number 2?
Social Security number 47.
So again, Ant-Man, he it takes a long time for him to come into his own. He's not the most confident person. So all throughout Ant-Man, I don't know, he feels like a middle school kid kind of trying to find out who he is. So along comes Civil War, and by now Ant-Man is Ant-Man. He's just kind of come into himself, and he's face to face with Black Widow, and like I'm not just a loser, I'm Ant-Man, And so he's face to face with Black Widow, and he says something like, "Look, I don't want to hurt you," and she just goes something like, "I wouldn't stress about it," and then proceeded to just beat the snot out of him. So I wouldn't stress about it, and then what followed, just the context of it.
All right, excellent. Another great example. Not exactly a one-liner or quip, so Clayburn obviously not taking this very seriously, not guidelines of the show. But a great example. A great example.
Still's good.
Of the MCU being funny, right? That's what Clay got out of this particular topic. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to our final one. This is from Spider-Man: Homecoming. This is this is one that was actually kind of hard for me to find. I remember it because it makes me laugh every time. But I was searching online. I was like, "How does the quote exactly go?"
Yeah,
and it's kind of hard to find. But I did find it. But it was one of the funniest, or one of the loudest I've ever laughed in a movie theater because it's so out of nowhere. It doesn't really make sense that this is going on, but I don't know. This is how it goes. Maybe you remember this or not, but it's after Spider-Man rescues his classmates in the Washington Monument. Do you remember that? Yes. And they're interviewing the teacher, and the teacher is on the news or whatever, and he goes something to the extent of, he's like, I couldn't bear to lose a student on a school trip, and then his face kind of changes, and he goes, "Not again," and it just cuts. It's like, it's like just a random, like what? But it just like one of the funniest I've ever laughed because it's like completely out of nowhere, just like "not again," like some kid died on a previous school trip that we don't know about. But I just one of the funniest lines in the MCU, in my opinion. All right, but Jeremy, what about you?
That was weird because it was a little bit dark, wasn't it?
It was pretty dark.
Sorry. Go ahead, Jeremy. I'm lagging behind you guys.
Completely, yeah. I think that's why I laughed so loud because there's a randomly really dark joke in the middle of Spider-Man: Homecoming. There's another funner line that the teacher says. I think he says something to the extent of when they're all hitting the bell and making jokes, and he goes, "What did I tell you about using the bell for comedic purposes?" A good line. But Jeremy, what's your number 1?
So my number 1 was the Drax is "Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast.
Wait, do your best Drax impression and see if you can deliver it like Drax.
I can't.
That's okay.
But I will. I'll give my honorable mention, which was Thor in Thor Ragnarok with "He's a friend from work" when the Hulk comes out.
Oh,
and they're about to fight. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Of course, you have to say it. Did you know that it was a kid that came up with that line and gave it to Thor? Everybody knew that. No one knew that. Okay, I thought that was like I thought that was common knowledge that there was a kid
Whose
on
kid
set.
was?
It was like a kid that was like he was like a kid that was like dying of a disease or whatever, and he was on set.
Oh,
And
Make
he,
a Wish.
And he said, "Hey, why don't you say it's a friend from work?" There you go. A little trivia. All right, excellent.
$1 million line right there.
Very good. All right, so a lot of funny lines from Thor Ragnarok. Acidtrain, what do you got?
All right, my number one comes from, I believe it was the first Avengers movie, from Nick Fury. He said, "I understand the council has made a decision, but given that that's a stupid-ass decision, I've elected to ignore it." I thought that was pretty good. Good timing as well.
From one of the very first Avengers film. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you put that in any emails? Or the boss or something?
I should.
Put it as
I understand that you've made a
standard
decision. Yeah.
It
That
could
is
be
my-
your the signature at the end of your emails, so that way you're not really saying it. It's just a quote.
It's just a quote. Yeah, Nick Fury. If you, yeah.
That is my standard reply to any student that emails me.
It's like, I understand what you're saying. I get it. But no.
All right. Juan from the Casting Crowns.
Yes.
Playing the guitar.
Thank you.
Ready the guitar.
Yeah, I'll do it. Well, I don't have one on me. Sorry, it's in the other room. But I want to thank Clayburn for giving me the idea for this one because this really is my favorite line. So I'm glad it kind of accidentally counted down. In Civil War, airport fighting scene, Ant-Man grows to enormous size, and I think that's after Spider takes down. And he falls down. And he shrinks back to normal size. He opens up his helmet. He's like, "Anybody got any orange slices?" Because his blood sugar's so low. Oh.
That had to be like a Paul Rudd improv thing. That had to be. Who writes? Does anyone have any orange
I haven't looked
slices?
it up.
But yeah, that's good. I remember laughing a lot when I heard that as well. A classic line from Civil War. All right, Clay, what do you have?
Can I do two? Because they're too good to skip one.
If you're not going to follow the rules of the show, then I'm going to have
One of them's honorable
Clay,
mention.
just make it an honorable mention. Just make it an honorable
That's
mention.
fair enough. You can pick whichever one you think's the honorable mention. So, okay, one was in I don't even remember. I think it was maybe the original Avengers, but Tony Stark is inviting Bruce Banner to come to the Stark Industries building. Says, you'll love it. It's Candyland. And Bruce Banner says, "Thanks, but the last time I was in New York, I kind of broke Harlem." That's solid.
That's a good one.
Good joke. I like it.
And the next one is when Agent Coulson was put in charge of guarding Tony Stark. His quote was, and this TV show is less relevant now than it was at the time, but Marvel, they're not always timeless. They have some niche point in time jokes and things like that. So anyway, Coulson said, "If you try to escape Tony or play any sort of games with me, I'll tase you and watch Super Nanny while you drool into the carpet." At the time, right on.
Very good. Excellent. What we're trying to say is the MCU is very funny. Like a lot of good lines, right? Just like these two gentlemen who will be performing July 24th at 9 p.m. at the ACF building.
What a segue.
In Auburn, South Gay Street. Definitely check it out. 9 p.m. Look, 7 p.m. show is sold out because everybody knows how funny these two are, right? We got
Don't
Clay.
even try.
We have Clay and we have Juan, lead guitarist in the Casting Crowns, right? Well, what kind of guitar do you play, Juan?
Well, so technically I'm a rhythm guitar, EG2 as they say, but I'm sponsored by Fender and PRS, so I got one of each at least.
Nice.
You
And I got an acoustic that I play.
Yeah, is it a particular color? What kind of?
Yeah.
Describe this guitar to me. What are we talking about here?
So, well, okay. If you want some details, I got a Fiesta Red Ventura, brand new is the one I got, Ventura Telecaster. So the Fiesta Red one's almost salmon. It almost.
All right. Well, very good. Excellent. Well, good. Great to have you here. Today, it's guitar talk today. That's our topic. We're talking guitars. What's your favorite guitar?
Yeah, sure.
Is it the Fender? Is it other ones that I don't know? All I know is Fender. Not a big guitar guy. But very good. Excellent. Well, very good. Let's go ahead and move on to our next segment then, right? Trivia. We're going to do some trivia next.
We got some good trivia that I'm sure everyone will be super excited about. I'm going to go ahead and get our lovely non-copyright music going on that you can't hear, but everyone else can hear.
Is this first to answer, or is this one at a time kind of thing?
This is how it will go.
You'll
So
answer.
I'll give you the game's called Geek Out. That's where it's from. And I will give you basically a topic. So I will say, how many of blank can you name? And then we'll go around saying, okay, who can name two? Who can name three? Whoever can name the most of this specific topic will have to prove it. If they prove it, they win the round. And a lifetime supply of ball soap. So get ready for that.
So hold on. I think it's very important that we if we're going to do inside jokes with our guests.
Oh, come on. It's just
we
funny
have
to see the
explain
expression
what we're
on
talking
their face.
about. Oh my goodness, this is completely unprofessional. I apologize. To them.
Does that refer to the shape?
Is that what
Yeah.
crossed the line?
No, so about, I guess, 3 or 4 weeks ago now, I was intrigued by a specific brand of soap. You may have heard it. You may have seen it on like your Facebook, Twitter feed, whatever your social media is, called Dr. Squatch soap. And it's a man's, so yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I told them that I purchased some, which I did, and used it, and it was glorious, and everyone should buy it. So
I'm sure you've
There you
seen
go.
these commercials before because they pop up on YouTube all the
It's got
time.
like a high.
it's the guy with the blonde,
It's
wavy
the very
hair.
obnoxious commercials where he's like, "Oh, your balls need to be taken care of." I'm like,
Yeah.
"All right."
I
I'm not-
have literally never seen any of these.
You've
commercials.
never seen
Have you
these
not? God,
commercials?
the
Is
commercials
that like a
are
high?
brilliant.
Does it have a high grit content? Is that what makes it a man's?
Some
soap?
of them do.
like real gritty.
They're all. It's like,
Almost like
well,
sandpaper.
it's an all natural, like no. They basically
Tree
advertise
bark
it
and
like you're bathing
Granite.
with tree bark.
Somebody just took a
sand.
hatchet to a pine tree and nailed it to
Exactly, and put some water on it, and you're washing anyway. But anyway,
All
all
right,
jokes aside, the soap is legit. Like it's pretty good.
There you go.
Oh, but
Commercials
anyway,
are obnoxious.
that's what we do.
But anyways, yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we've got, and we have 3 topics here. So we'll start with so call it an easy one, an off-topic one. So how many fictional characters with exceptional math skills can you name? So fictional characters of any kind, comic, movie, to anything, with exceptional math skills.
Can you define exceptional?
So like just
So they're smart.
beyond fast math, like a human computer.
So we're saying superhuman.
Correct. Superhuman math.
are y'all writing them
abilities.
down?
Yeah, you can. You
Is
can
that
write
how
them
y'all
down
are
if you
finding
want
out how
to.
many you can do?
All right.
So
And
just go ahead.
That's a
what's
good
the-
idea.
What's the cutoff
That's a good
on
idea.
number of people from the same thing?
A same show. Are you doing
Um,
like
I know what you're asking.
Math Whiz? IQ?
is
Is
there-
that the IQ? That's the name of the high schoolers.
So we're just saying like
I'm trying to. Yeah. Like I know what you're asking, but I don't want to say anything without giving anything away.
Yeah.
So are we saying like just like characters that have super intelligence? Is that what we're saying? Is that how we're honing it down?
I think it's
Keep
math
it-
in particular, right?
As we
keep
math?
it to the one. I guess this
They're
would
known
make
for
sense. The
math.
one race. I get. Does I don't even know if I.
Oh,
I know what you're gonna go. I know Jeremy's gonna go unload, but it's
I'm gonna put Andrew Yang.
just
That was his big thing, right?
just
Math?
list
fictional character.
Oh, fictional
list what you feel is appropriate.
character.
Okay.
All I only got 5 right
Okay.
now, so far.
Okay.
I feel like this topic is so broad
It is.
that like you could name any like super smart person.
And what's funny is like the card gives you like a minimum number, right? So like this one, for instance, is who can name 2 fictional characters with exceptional math skill? You know, like it starts at 2. Like sometimes we go to 1, sometimes we go to 57.
This one would definitely.
You know.
This category could go on forever. We could sit here and argue every person and go, well, of course he's good at math, but he's not exceptionally good at
That's
it.
true. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
a
why
very-
we still have 3 hours
for a
of the show
question
left.
about math. It's very poorly defined.
Okay, we'll start. I heard of 5. Who's got 5 at least? Does everybody have 5?
I got 5, but I don't know
Yeah.
if there's. I'm sure y'all have them.
Okay. Does anybody? We'll double it. Does anybody have 10?
3, 6, 7. I have 7.
Nobody has 10. All right. We have a 7. Does anybody have 8? No.
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 Is there a time limit?
Jawan.
Do
All
I
right.
keep adding
Jawan,
to it?
looks like you're at 7. Let's see if you can. We'll go one by
You can
one.
check the validity of me too.
And
I'll
yeah,
let
we'll,
you guys be
we'll
the judge.
and the whole thing is that we all discuss it and say, okay, yeah, that counts, or oh, maybe not, and we'll go from there. So go ahead.
Okay.
Who's the first one?
It's a consensus then.
It's a consensus.
Sherlock Holmes.
Does he with math?
He does
See, this
deduce
is the
things
way it's
very
gonna
well.
go.
See what I mean?
He
Question
does.
is the worst question ever.
Yeah, I mean, I would say
It's
he has
possible.
very good deductive skills, but not math skills.
But
So
not
yeah,
addictive skills.
in his universe, to the people around him, he is superior in math skills. If you
is
stack him up
superior.
against other fictional characters, and
Well, so
other
he's not
universes,
compared to Moriarty, though, right? Moriarty
true.
is
Moriarty
the
would
actual math
be
professor.
better at math. Okay, I'll go with that. And then
Okay.
I've been
Who you
I've
got
been
next?
binge watching Fringe again. You guys watch that TV show? But in the other universe, the Astrid 2, the assistant girl, she's like, she's got autism, and so she can compute probability in like a split second. So
Okay,
trust me, just trust me on that one.
Well,
gotcha. Okay, who
It's
else
like,
you
that's
got?
the super. I really liked Fringe. This is probably our 3rd or 4th time watching it all the way through. Me and my wife. Raymond from Rain Man.
yeah, I mean,
Can't remember
sure.
the last name.
I'm okay with that.
Yep, I'm okay with that too.
Data from Next Generation.
Yep.
So are we going with, because C3PO is my other one. He would spit out.
That's fine. That's from a different. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Okay. It's like, because we could keep doing robots. I guess we could
Yeah,
do
no, that's right. Yeah, we could just
Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guy. Or what was it? Was a supercomputer from what was the name of the computer on the Infinity
Now,
Improbability
there is
Drive?
an interesting question about what constitutes math skill. right, 'cause-
Think was a big one, right?
Yeah.
Did y'all lose me? Am I frozen? Oh, sorry.
No. You're good.
So I was saying that does bring up the interesting topic of what constitutes math skill, because
Rules, yeah.
just computation is a very small part of math, right? So you could make the argument that someone doesn't truly have math skills if there's not an organic analysis,
Oh,
right?
because
This
they've
one-
been programmed to do that by another
Yeah.
human, by a human, yeah, or something.
I think we found out that this question is horrible. I think
It
that's
is pretty
one-
No,
We can,
I'm saying you can argue this forever. It's just one of those questions where you could literally argue it for the rest of your life.
You could. We'll just say everybody wins that round.
Oh,
And,
yeah, that sounds good. I like
We'll
that.
move on to the next two. These next two are.
But I think
Yeah,
the
they're less
funny thing about it
controversial.
is, like, if we want to do like purely like answer the question, Rain Man is like the perfect answer to that
Yeah,
question.
that is the perfect answer. Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Before we move to the next, can I just
Yeah.
ask you? I want to
count
know if
cards.
you count it or not. The question was, which fictitious characters have super math skills? So one of my 5 was Superman, because regardless of the quality of his math skills, right?
I would accept the answer, Clay. I would accept that
Do you
answer,
think
which
he-
is
do you
why
think
you're
Superman
sharing
would go
the-
around?
the victory of this round.
That's a good question. Was Superman be good at math?
Well, I think maybe because what you bring up is a good question. It's like, did Superman just walk around and everything he had, he just said, well, here's the super shoes, and here's my super dresser over here. I keep my super underwear. Like,
So-
Superman, look, we get it. It's just regular underwear. It's just yours. You just happen to call it super. Give it a rest.
Okay, let's move on and go to we'll go out to sea now. We're gonna go out to sea.
Oh,
Okay,
we're going to see. Okay.
we're going out to sea. And name, how many historical pirates can you name?
Oh my gosh.
Historical pirates. So we're talking about real pirate.
Yes, historical pirates.
Oh crud.
Actual pirates.
Did a fictional.
Do I know any?
Gosh, I'm
Real
gonna show my
pirates?
ignorance now. Siri? Hey, if you hear a computer voice, that's just me. That's just me writing them down.
Google, what do you have to say about historical pirates?
Yeah. Siri? Alexa, I'm just talking to my wife, Alexa. Alexa?
Yeah. This is a team game, right? Couples game. All right, historical pirates. Give you a few more seconds to think it over.
No.
I do have a list here of some of the most
Like, if
famous
you-
pirates in history.
What defines a pirate?
I can look that up too. Would you like for me to give you the
Someone who
definition of
steals
pirate?
things?
I mean, someone like on the water.
A
Let's go with
person
space
who
pirate.
attacks
Steals
and
things.
robs ships at sea is the
Oh, robs ships at sea. So we can't say like Christopher Columbus is a pirate.
correct.
Because it kind of is. Am I right, guys? Hey! high five.
I was gonna say like Hernando Cortez.
Another one is
Conquistadors, but no.
to pirate is to rob or plunder a ship, according to the dictionary here.
Yeah. So like if you downloaded a bunch of songs off of Napster
That wouldn't count.
2000s, that's
It
not.
doesn't make you a pirate, yeah.
That's not. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely not a historical pirate,
some-
that's for sure, yeah.
By the way, I didn't put myself for having done it. I put a particular high school friend of mine. Like I completely threw a guy named Jeremy Green under the bus for pirating music from Napster.
Oh, no.
So,
Napster. Ooh. All right.
you call the
Okay, so
police
the
on him
question
instead?
calls for at least two. Can anybody name at least two pirates?
I've got 4.
Wow, 4. All right,
Leave
who's
the
got
pirates.
5? Anthony's probably got 12 or 13, right?
I have 0 pirates.
0 pirates.
what about
Okay.
Barry Bonds? He played for the Pirates.
It's true. He did play for the Pirates, and that's pretty
Oh,
historical.
you just unlocked the. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the whole team.
Counts.
Clay wins the round.
He's gonna.
now.
Yeah. Clay's gonna blow us away at the
He's just gonna name all the
1975.
Pirates. Yeah.
I wanna,
All right, well, I
wanna
think
know those
Jeremy-
pirates that Jeremy has.
I think
Jeremy, go
Jeremy's
ahead,
got the
listen.
highest, so let's hear it.
Francis Drake, Anne Bonny,
Yes.
Henry Avery, Blackbeard.
All right. Well, there
Yeah.
we go.
What was
Thank
Blackbeard?
you,
Drew?
Uncharted.
I was gonna say that guy that says I'm the captain now. That's another one.
There you go. Whoever that is.
I would also
It was a
accept
Somali-
Calico Jack
Oh man.
and Bartholomew Roberts, whoever that is. So there you go.
They didn't have. They had to have nicknames, right? Do they have them in?
That was just that was the only name that I saw on next to their
Oh.
drawn picture that someone did.
I think to constitute someone as an actual pirate, if we're going to be particular,
Yeah.
they needed to have a nickname like Blackbeard. If they didn't have a nickname,
Yep.
they were a real pirate, right?
They were just posers, right?
No. Well, they hadn't made it to the status of nickname. Like maybe they.
Maybe they died
stole
before
like a-
they could.
I mean, but think about just how terrible the nickname Blackbeard is, really. Like, it's just a dude with a beard
Yeah.
who just started calling himself Blackbeard.
Yeah. Or somebody did,
Legit
yeah.
though. Second Second one on my list, I wrote Long John Silver, and I went, "Oh yeah, his
Long
story."
John Silver. Nice.
Story.
Captain D's is one of them.
Wait, was Long John Silver a real person? Like legitimately?
No, he was
No,
in,
he was in Treasure
in the
Island.
Stevenson book. Yeah.
All right, last question. How many comic book characters can you name with electrical powers? Electrical powers.
Ow.
Come on, think of it.
Electrical comic book characters. Electricity is their power.
Dang.
Like it's an. All right, I'm just gonna go with it and see if it works.
Okay.
Not that it's part of their suit, right? That they can wield
They
electricity.
have electrical powers. Like your guitar is electrical. Your guitar has electrical powers.
There's got to be way more than this. I cannot.
Yes. That's what's killing.
Yeah, like there's
about it.
there's
Think
so
about it.
many.
Yeah, it's gotta be comic book.
Let's see if I can find a little list to go off of when you guys
Oh,
start
man, this is
rattling these
Nope.
folks off.
Got 3. I'm stuck at 3, and I made up 1.
Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. Good Lord, there's a ton of these.
I've got
Okay.
6.
I'm not gonna be able to get 6. I can't even think of the
The
DC
list,
one.
the list that I have has 94 on it, so
Oh my god.
So there's
Yeah.
got to be a ton.
there's a ton of these. So I mean, most of these I don't
Oh,
even know,
okay.
but I do recognize a lot of these.
I'm gonna be so mad at
All
myself.
right, so does anybody have 7?
I have 4 now.
No.
I cannot believe I can't think of any more than 3.
Was that the
Oh,
minimum?
wow.
7 was the minimum?
Jeremy has 6. Didn't you just say 6?
Yeah, I've
Okay.
got 6.
Yeah, Jeremy's
You're
got
up, babe.
6.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I've got 7 if we really want.
Well,
All right, Jeremy, I want to hear it.
We'll hear the 6. What you got?
Storm,
Okay.
Omega Red.
Oh, that's right, because he can electrocute you. That's right.
Yeah, Flash.
Mm.
I'll count that.
He uses it.
He uses
Thor,
it. What'd you say?
Thor.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Black Lightning
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
and Shazam.
What? Shazam.
You didn't say Electro. Electro was one of
That
the.
was my
Electro.
7th. That
I'm not
Okay, I
questioning
said Zeus,
you.
although I wasn't 100% sure he was in a comic book, because Hercules is in a comic book, so we're not Zeus.
I'm not questioning you, but strangely enough, Shazam is not on this list that I'm looking at.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's his whole
I know.
Like
There's
when
no, yeah.
Shazam. And,
Unless,
Shazam.
unless
I mean,
there's another
lightning
name.
literally comes down and strikes him.
But some of these we have Black Adam.
Oh.
They've also
I
characterized.
genuinely did not know that was one of Black Adam's powers.
Magneto is also in here.
Electromagnet doesn't count.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Odin. So I'm trying to find a few words that I actually recognize.
Did you know?
Oh, Livewire. I forgot about Livewire. From was that from Flash? Was she from Flash?
Can't remember.
Okay, anyway, Jeremy wins that round. Congratulations.
Good job.
That is all I have for trivia.
Congratulations, Jeremy. I think Jeremy won that trivia. Huh?
Jeremy got it all. He's back and with a vengeance. Look at him. He's like, I'll teach you guys to play Hot or Not without me.
I just played Uncharted 4 like 5 times because it's a great game.
Is that how is it? I believe you.
That's the only knowledge I have about pirates.
So okay, Uncharted or Tomb Raider?
So I really like the new
prefer?
relaunched Tomb Raider. I think Uncharted's the stronger series, just from a character development standpoint. But I really like the gameplay in Tomb Raider.
Okay.
All right, very good. So that was our show today. Today's topic, we talked about the top one-liners and quips in the MCU, right? What do you think? Post a comment and tell us what you think. Like and subscribe.
Hit that notification bell.
Notification bell.
Yeah.
And that way you can be updated on whenever. All right, so good. So that was our show for today. Don't forget that these two fine gentlemen, very hilarious, right? Will be performing July 24th at 9 p.m. Look, 7 o'clock show is already booked. Who knows? How
Can I just stand in the back at the
come.
7 o'clock? Can I just stand there? Will that be okay?
Stand in the back.
Yeah. Come by.
Okay.
All right, excellent. So once again, they're performing in Auburn, ACF Building, South Gay Street.
We'll put all the information in the description below right after the show.
We'll do
That
all
way you
that.
can click the links and reserve your spot.
Do all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for everybody for being here. Juan, Randall, Clay, Tiberius, Sylvia, Cox. Thank you so much for being here, both of you. I'm sure I'm going to get an angry email from Clayburn afterward saying, hey, look, I love being on the show, but this is what you need to do next time. If you're going to have me on the show next time, this is what you need to do. I don't have to tell you how to be a professional host, is what he'll say. But yeah, so thank you so much, guys. This has been a blast. I had a great time having you on. Thank you so much. Any last words? Why am I saying any last words?
Any last words? Oh, gosh. You act like something terrible's about to happen.
Yeah. Is there somebody behind me?
Sure. Definitely check them out in Auburn. That's the show for today. Clay, Juan, Acidtrain, Jeremy, and I'm Anthony Denard. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.